This video will review the SeedStar 4 planner overview screen. At the top of the page, we can see some of our core planner functions. Each function will have a small gray bar above it, and when you're planning, that bar will be lit up either green, yellow, or red to indicate whether that parameter is within range or not. Within each one of these functions, we can simply select that function and it will allow us to drill into that function just a little bit closer. So currently we go into population and we can choose our target rate. The next icon is going to be our margin display. We can see what our target downforce margin is set at. If we would like to change our target margin, simply select target margin. We have the pause feature, and then we can adjust our target margin as needed and then close out. I can also set my alarms from this page as well. My next icon across the top is going to be seed singulation. It's going to tell me what row has the worst singulation, show me my bar graph. Doubles will be bars above the line, skips will be bars below the line. On the left hand side, I can see the average multiples across the whole planner, and then what row has the highest amount of multiples. So it'll tell me what row here and then what the percentage of multiples is on that row. Similarly, it will tell me the same information for skips, what row is the worst, what my overall average skips is, and then the percentage of skips on the worst row. My second to last icon on the top is going to be my seed spacing, which is displayed in CV or coefficient of variation, and I will simply get a bar graph here. The last icon is more functions, which shows us ride quality, meter RPM, meter torque readings, and our curve compensation. And each one of these functions I can drill in, look at a bar graph, and see more information. On the margin display, I will have average margin across all rows at the top, what row has the highest margin and then what its value is, what row has the lowest margin and what its value is. Then I will see a bar graph here for my 12 rows of the planner for margin. There's a second graph on the bottom, and we can choose whether we would like to see ground contact, which is our icon on the left, or downforce, the amount of applied downforce on each row unit, and I can see a bar graph for that as well. So I can choose which one of those two I would like to see. So I can choose which icon I would like to use as I'm planning through the field, and I can still see my other core parameters. If I do not like to see the bar graphs and I'd rather just see numbers, I can select the first icon and get my overview screen. You will always see your population graph across the bottom of the planner, indicating the high row and what its population is, and the low row and what its population is. You can also lock into one row in the center here. So right now we're currently selected on row number 1. So if I wanted to look at row number 5 all the time, I could select that. SeedStar 4 also has a feature called Zoom. If I select my population graph, it's going to zoom in on those 4 rows. If I want to look at all of the details on a specific row, if I was having an issue, say row number 7, I could select row number 7 and it will give me all of the information for row number 7 to help me diagnose a problem. To deselect the zoom feature, simply select one of your icons across the top menu in order to exit. You can see here down at the bottom we have our section control status for each row, section control on, and then if we go into SeedStar, we can also see the ability to turn rows off manually if we so choose.